Torah portion for 12 April 2025 is titled Tsav. It means command. The Torah portion is taken from Leviticus 6:8 through 8:36. The Haftarah is from Malachi 3:4 through 4:6. And the apostolic portion is Matthew 17:9 through 13. Leviticus 6:8 out. And Yehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Command Aharon and his sons, saying, This is the Torah of the burnt offering. This is the burnt offering, because it is burned on the altar all night until morning, and the fire of the altar is kept burning on it. And the priest shall put on his linen garment, and put his linen trousers on his body, and shall take up the ashes of the burnt offering, which the fire has consumed on the altar, and shall put them beside the altar. And he shall take off his garments, and put on other garments, and shall bring the ashes outside the camp to a clean place. And the fire on the altar is kept burning on it, it is not put out. And the priest shall burn wood on it every morning, and arrange the burnt offering on it, and shall burn on it the fat of the peace offerings. Fire is continually kept burning on the altar, it is not put out. And this is the Torah of the grain offering. The sons of Aharon shall bring it near before Yehovah, in front of the altar, and shall take from it with his hand from the fine flour of the grain offering, and from its oil, and all the frankincense which is on the grain offering, and shall burn it on the altar for a sweet fragrance, as its remembrance portion to Yehovah. Then Aharon and his sons eat the rest of it. It is eaten with unleavened bread in the set-apart place. They eat it in the courtyard of the tent of meeting. It is not baked with leaven. I have given it to them as their portion of my offerings made by fire. It is most set apart, like the sin offering and the guilt offering. All the males among the children of Aharon eat it, a law forever in your generations, concerning the offerings made by fire to Yehovah. All that touches them is to be set apart. And Yehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, This is the offering of Aharon and his sons, which they bring near to Yehovah, beginning on the day when he is anointed, 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour, as a daily grain offering, half of it in the morning and half of it at night. It is made on a griddle with oil. Bring it in mixed. Bring the baked portions of the grain offering near, a sweet fragrance to Yehovah. And the anointed priest from among his sons, who is in his place, prepares it, a law forever to Yehovah. All of it has to be burned. And every grain offering for the priest is completely burned. It is not eaten. And Yehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to Aharon and his sons, saying, This is the Torah of the sin offering. In the place where the burnt offering is slaughtered, the sin offering is slaughtered before Yehovah. It is most set apart. The priest who is making atonement eats it. In the set-apart place it is eaten, in the courtyard of the tent of meeting. All that touches its flesh is to be set apart. And when its blood is sprinkled on any garment, you wash that on which it was sprinkled in a set-apart place. But the earthen vessel in which it was cooked is to be broken. And if it is cooked in a bronze pot, then it is scoured and rinsed in water. Every male among the priests eats it. It is most set apart. And no sin offering from which any of the blood is brought into the tent of meeting, to make atonement in the set-apart place. It is eaten, it is burned with fire. Leviticus 7. And this is the Torah of the guilt offering. It is most set apart. The guilt offering is slaughtered in the place where they slaughter the burnt offering, and its blood is sprinkled on the altar all around. Then he brings from it all its fat, the fat tail and the fat that covers the entrails, and the 2 kidneys and the fat that is on them by the loins, and the appendage on the liver, which he removes with the kidneys. And the priest shall burn them on the altar as an offering made by fire to Yehovah. It is a guilt offering. Every male among the priests eats it. It is eaten in the set-apart place. It is most set apart. The guilt offering is like the sin offering. There is one Torah for them both. The priest who makes atonement with it, it is his. And the priest who brings anyone's burnt offering, the skin of the burnt offering which he has brought, is the priest, it is his. And every grain offering that is baked in the oven, and all that is prepared in the stewing pot, or on a griddle, is the priest who brings it, it is his. And every grain offering mixed with oil, or dry, is for all the sons of Aharon, for all alike. And this is the Torah of the slaughtering of peace offerings, which is brought to Yehovah. If he brings it for a thanksgiving, then he shall bring with the slaughtering of thanksgiving unleavened cakes mixed with oil, and unleavened thin cakes anointed with oil, or cakes of finely blended flour mixed with oil. Besides the cakes, he brings as his offering leavened bread together with the slaughtering of thanksgiving of his peace offering. And from it he shall bring 1 cake from each offering as a contribution to Yehovah, to the priest who sprinkles the blood of the peace offering. It is his. As for the flesh of the slaughtering of his peace offering for thanksgiving, it is eaten the same day it is offered. He does not leave any of it until morning. And if the offering he brings is a vow or a voluntary offering, it is eaten the same day that he brings his slaughtering, and what is left of it is eaten the next day. But whatever is left of the flesh of the slaughtering on the 3rd day is burned with fire. However, if any of the flesh of his peace offering is eaten at all on the 3rd day, it is not accepted. It is not reckoned to him who brings it. It is unclean to him, and the being who eats it bears his crookedness. And the flesh that touches that which is unclean is not eaten. It is burned with fire. And as for the clean flesh, all who are clean eat of it. But the being who eats the flesh of the peace offering that belongs to Yehovah, while he is unclean, that being shall be cut off from his people. And when a being who touches that which is unclean, of the uncleanness of man, or of the uncleanness of beast, or of any unclean swarming creature, and shall eat the flesh of the peace offering that belongs to Yehovah, that being shall be cut off from his people. And Yehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, Do not eat any fat of bull or sheep or goat, and the fat of a dead body, and the fat of what is torn is used for any purpose, but you do not eat it at all. For whoever eats the fat of the beast of which men bring as an offering made by fire to Yehovah, even the being who eats it shall be cut off from his people. And do not eat any blood in any of your dwellings, of bird or of beast. Any being who eats any blood, even that being shall be cut off from his people. And Yehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, He who brings his peace offering to Yehovah brings his offering to Yehovah from the slaughtering of his peace offering. With his own hands he brings the offerings made by fire to Yehovah. He brings the fat with the breast to be waved as a wave offering before Yehovah. and the priest shall burn the fat on the altar, but the breast shall be Aharon's and his sons. And the right thigh you give to the priest as a contribution from your peace offerings. He, among the sons of Aharon, who brings the blood of the peace offering and the fat, the right thigh is his for a portion. For the breast of the wave offering and the thigh of the contribution I have taken from the children of Israel, from their peace offerings, and I give them to Aharon the priest and to his sons, as a law forever, from the children of Israel. This is the anointed portion for Aharon, and the anointed portion for his sons, from the offerings made by fire to Yehovah, on the day when Moshe presented them to serve as priests to Yehovah, which Yehovah commanded to be given to them by the children of Israel, on the day that he anointed them, a law forever throughout their generations. This is the Torah of the burnt offering, of the grain offering, and of the sin offering, and of the guilt offering, and of the ordinations, and of the peace offering, which Yehovah commanded Moshe on Mount Sinai, on the day when he commanded the children of Israel to bring their offerings to Yehovah in the wilderness of Sinai. Leviticus 8. And Yehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Take Aharon and his sons with him, and the garments, and the anointing oil, and the bull of the sin offering, and the 2 rams, and the basket of unleavened bread, and assemble all the congregation at the door of the tent of meeting. And Moshe did as Yehovah commanded him, and the congregation was assembled at the door of the tent of meeting. And Moshe said to the congregation, This is the word Yehovah commanded to be done. So Moshe brought Aharon and his sons and washed them with water, and put the long shirt on him, and girded him with the girdle, and dressed him in the robe, and put the shoulder garment on him, and girded him with the embroidered band of the shoulder garment, and tied it with the shoulder garment on him, and put the breastplate on him, and put the Urim and the Thummim in the breastplate, and put the turban on his head. And on the turban, on its front, he put the golden plate, the set-apart sign of dedication, as Yehovah had commanded Moshe. And Moshe took the anointing oil, and anointed the dwelling place, and all that was in it, and set them apart, and sprinkled some of it on the altar 7 times, and anointed the altar and all its utensils, and the basin and its base, to set them apart. And he poured some of the anointing oil on Aharon's head, and anointed him, to set him apart. And Moshe brought the sons of Aharon, and put long shirts on them, and girded them with girdles, and put turbans on them, as Yehovah had commanded Moshe. And he brought the bull for the sin offering, and Aharon and his sons laid their hands on the head of the bull for the sin offering, and it was slaughtered. And Moshe took the blood, and put some on the horns of the altar all around with his finger, and cleansed the altar. And he poured the blood at the base of the altar, and set it apart, to make atonement for it. And he took all the fat that was on the entrails, and the appendage on the liver, and the 2 kidneys with their fat, and Moshe burned them on the altar. And the bull, and its skin, and its flesh, and its dung, he burned with fire outside the camp, as Yehovah had commanded Moshe. And he brought the ram of the burnt offering, and Aharon and his sons laid their hands on the head of the ram, and it was slaughtered. And Moshe sprinkled the blood on the altar all around. And he cut the ram into pieces, and Moshe burned the head, and the pieces, and the fat. And he washed the entrails and the legs in water. And Moshe burned the entire ram on the altar. It was a burnt offering for a sweet fragrance, and an offering made by fire to Yehovah, as Yehovah had commanded Moshe. And he brought the second ram, the ram of ordination. And Aharon and his sons laid their hands on the head of the ram, and it was slaughtered. And Moshe took some of its blood and put it on the tip of Aharon's right ear, and on the thumb of his right hand, and on the big toe of his right foot. And he brought near the sons of Aharon, and Moshe put some of the blood on the tips of their right ears, and on the thumbs of their right hands, and on the big toes of their right feet. And Moshe sprinkled the blood on the altar all around, and took the fat and the fat tail, and all the fat that was on the entrails, and the appendage on the liver, and the 2 kidneys and their fat, and the right thigh. And from the basket of unleavened bread that was before Yehovah, he took 1 unleavened cake, and a cake of bread anointed with oil, and 1 thin cake, and put them on the fat and on the right thigh, and placed all these in the hand of Aharon and in the hands of his sons, and waved them as a wave offering before Yehovah. Moshe then took from their hands and burned them on the altar, on the burnt offering. They were ordinations for a sweet fragrance. It was an offering by fire to Yehovah. And Moshe took the breast and waved it, a wave offering before Yehovah. It was Moshe's portion of the ram of ordination, as Yehovah had commanded Moshe. And Moshe took some of the anointing oil, and some of the blood which was on the altar, and sprinkled it on Aharon, on his garments, and on his sons, and on the garments of his sons with him. And he set apart Aharon, his garments, and his sons, and the garments of his sons with him. And Moshe said to Aharon and his sons, Cook the flesh at the door of the tent of meeting, and eat it there with the bread that is in the basket of the ordinations, as I have commanded, saying, Aharon and his sons are to eat it. Then burn the rest of the flesh and the bread with fire. And do not go outside the door of the tent of the meeting for 7 days, until the days of your ordination are completed, for he fills your hands for 7 days. Yehovah has commanded to do, as he has done this day, to make atonement for you. And stay at the door of the tent of meeting day and night for 7 days, and you shall guard the duty of Yehovah, and not die, for so I have been commanded. And Aharon and his sons did all the words that Yehovah had commanded by the hand of Moshe. Malachi 3:4 through 4:6. Then shall the offering of Yehudah and Jerusalem be pleasant to Yehovah, as in the days of old, as in former years. And I shall draw near to you for right ruling, and I shall be a swift witness against the practicers of witchcraft, and against adulterers, and against them that swear to falsehood, and against those who oppress the wage earner in his wages, and widows, and the fatherless, and those who turn away a sojourner and do not fear me, said Yehovah of hosts. For I am Yehovah, I shall not change, and you, O sons of Jacob, shall not come to an end. From the days of your fathers you have turned aside from my laws, and did not guard them. Turn back to me, and I shall turn back to you, said Yehovah of hosts. But you said, In what shall we turn back? Would a man rob Elohim? Yet you are robbing me. But you said, In what have we robbed you? In the tithe and the offering. You have cursed me with a curse, for you are robbing me, this nation, all of it. Bring all the tithes into the storehouse, and let there be food in my house. And please prove me in this, said Yehovah of hosts, whether I do not open for you the windows of the heavens, and shall pour out for you boundless blessing. And I shall rebuke the devourer for you, so that it does not destroy the fruit of your ground, nor does the vine fail to bear fruit for you in the field, said Yehovah of hosts. and all nations shall call you blessed, for you shall be a land of delight, said Yehovah of hosts. Your words have been harsh against me, said Yehovah, but you have said, what have we spoken against you? You have said, it is worthless to serve Elohim. And what did we gain when we guarded his charge, and when we walked as mourners before Yehovah of hosts? And now we are calling the proud blessed, not only of the doers of wrongness built up, but they also try Elohim and escape. Then shall those who fear Yehovah speak to one another, and Yehovah listen and hear, and a book of remembrance be written before him, of those who fear Yehovah, and those who think upon his name. And they shall be mine, said Yehovah of hosts, on the day that I prepare a treasured possession. And I shall spare them as a man spares his own son who serves him. Then you shall see again the difference between the righteous and the wrong, between one who serves Elohim and one who does not serve him. For look, the day shall come, burning like a furnace, and all the proud and every wrongdoer shall be stubble. And the day shall come, burn them up, said Yehovah of hosts, which leaves them neither root nor branch. But to you who fear my name, the Son of Righteousness shall arise with healing in his wings, and you shall go out and leap for joy like calves from the stall. And you shall trample the wrongdoers, for they shall be ashes under the sole of your feet on the day that I do this, said Yehovah of hosts. Remember the Torah of Moshe, my servant, which I commanded him in Horeb for all Yisrael, laws and right rulings. See, I am sending you, Eliah the prophet, before the coming of the great and awesome day of Yehovah. And he shall turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the hearts of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with utter destruction. Matthew 17, 9 through 13. And as they were coming down from the mountain, Yeshua commanded them, saying, do not mention the vision to anyone until the son of Adam is raised from the dead. And his taught ones asked him, saying, why then do the scribes say that Eliyahu has to come first? And Yeshua answered, said to them, Eliyahu is indeed coming first, and shall restore all matters. But I say to you that Eliyahu has already come, and they did not recognize him, but did to him whatever they wished. In this way the son of Adam is also about to suffer by them. Then the taught ones understood that he had spoken to them about Yohanan the Immerser.